A sequel to a remake that I truly detested, and directed by the same guy who brought us that crap fest known as Battle Los Angeles. Really, Hollywood? As you can tell from the intro alone, I was not a fan of the Clash of the Titans remake at all. From the original 1980s movie, I really enjoyed it because it delivered on what you wanted out of it, just good old cheesy fun. However, in the remake, it tried to take it serious at points, and any times that it attempted comedy just felt so flat. And also, Sam Worthington playing Perseus, he just made him one of the most generic heroes ever. And there's really only one reason why a sequel like this would be made, it's because you know what those studios want. Wrath takes place 10 years after the events in Clash happen, in which Perseus is trying to lead a normal life, but a war is about to break out again between the gods and the Titans, but this is one that could end all of the gods' immortal status, and Perseus must rise up in order to defeat the monster called the Cronus, which is the father of both Zeus and Hades, before he'll wreak havoc and end up destroying all of humanity and the immortal status of the gods as a whole. As the same in just about every movie that he has starred in before, Sam Worthington is stoic as ever as Perseus, and in my opinion turns in the worst performance in this movie without a doubt. Worthington's facial reactions to everything that happens to his character are just the same throughout. It's just like Nicolas Cage picking the next movie that his agent offers. He just does the same thing every time. Liam Neeson and Ralph Fiennes are also very hammed down in their roles, as they don't really have a lot to work with other than work out all this cliched family drama that happens in between them. And of course you can tell where it's gonna go at some point in the movie, and it just really all falls flat because it's a waste of those two great actors, especially Ralph Fiennes, who in the role of Hades, he just looks like he's donning the leftover portions of John Travolta's character from Battlefield Earth. In addition, there's one character that they add into Perseus' army besides Andromeda, played by Rosamund Pike, but there's also this one demigod who's the son of Poseidon, and he's supposed to serve as the comic relief for the movie, and all of his jokes fall so flat, and he really just gets tiresome after a while. Now, however, compared to Clash, there are some marginal improvements that are made in comparison. For instance, the cinematography is much better, and there also, when it comes to the action, there's a lot less shaky cam than there was in this, and that's really surprising enough for me because it was Jonathan Liebesman that's behind the camera for this, and he shook it a hell of a lot of times for Battle Los Angeles, but a lot of the action is comprehensible most of the time. I didn't really have problems with it, and there are some very nice scenic establishment shots for a lot of the new settings in which they really capture the nature of the setting in particular. However, besides those two aspects, this movie is really just the example of the definitive praise more of the same, in which, like Clash, you have stale acting from the majority of the actors involved, the battle sequences are very rushed, and the humor, whenever there's attempts to, falls extremely flat every time. Get into those action sequences, one of them involves Perseus fighting a Minotaur, and it ends in basically 20 seconds. When you're fighting a Minotaur, you expect a hell of a lot to go down. And when it comes to the Battle of the Cronus, like the Kraken battle in Clash, it doesn't last for a long time when Perseus has to actually fight it, and I was kind of expecting that from the first place anyway. However, while the action is decently filmed, and it does have some really good visuals in between, it just doesn't last long if you don't find enough time to really immerse yourself within the chaos that's happening throughout. Overall though, those marginal improvements make this a slightly better experience than Clash of the Titans was. However, it's not going to be a movie that it isn't bad, it isn't god-awful, and it's surely not anything that's going to appear on my worst of list. It's just very generic stuff that we've seen before for the most part, and that's why I'm going to give Wrath of the Titans 2 out of 5 stars. So if you enjoyed my review of Wrath of the Titans, I'll be seeing The Raid Redemption on Friday, and I'll have a review out for that on Saturday, and I'm also going to be a guest on the Movie Files podcast, which is run by two of my best friends on YouTube, Not Charles Morris and Ronette. We're going to be reviewing Wrath of the Titans, Mirror, Goon, The Raid Redemption, and more. So in the meantime, I'm talking from CaliCritic Reviews, and I'll see you guys later. Goodbye, and thanks a lot for helping me reach 1,000 subscribers.